I've stayed for too long and I woke up at your place again.
I've been camped at McGowan Island campgrounds now for a few days, but the reason for me being here so close to Kalumburu is because I wanted to do the Carlberg River track. I've been waiting as long as I can, but I can't wait anymore. Unfortunately, Ronald and Colin Morgan, who run the Carlberg River track tag-along tours, are still on the track. They've been a little bit delayed, possibly by mechanical issues. So unfortunately, I'm not going to get to do the Carlberg River track this time. I'll definitely be coming back to do it again in the future. So that means I'm cutting this northern section of Kalumburu short, because now I need to make up for some lost time. So today's a huge travel day. I'm still going to do some really quick exploring of some stuff along the way, which I'll show you now, but I'm making my way to the Pentecost River and Questro Station as quick as I can, and I'm hoping to cover it's about 350-400 Ks I think today, but I'll see how I go. For now, check out some of the footage I took around the Kalumburu area while I was exploring little random tracks that I was coming across that would take me to beaches and creeks and whatnot. So I was heading down to the barge ramp and I was going to have a chat to the barge operator about whether you can get a barge out to Truscott and go forward driving around the island. But before I got there, I found an old troopy on the side of the road, and some boys that I'd met a couple of days ago were having a chat, see if they could help him out. Looks like he's blown a hub, sheared the bolts straight off, and we talked about welding them up, and we talked about putting some things in there to get him going, but in the end the best option for everyone and for him was to tow him back into town. So that's what we're doing at the moment. He's on the back and we're just cruising along at 30-40 k's an hour, and yeah, we'll get him back into town, and that's a bit of bush karma, hopefully. That's what it's all about out here, helping each other out when you need it, because at some stage eventually, if you're out here long enough, you're the one that's going to need help, and I'm I'm more than happy to keep collecting bush karma in the hope that one day someone helps me out when I need it. So it's been a massive day of driving, and I'm not going to make it to El Questro Station tonight. I dropped old mate off at his home in Kalumburu, and he tells me he's going to fix that troopy himself. Looking at the fencing wire that's holding it together now, I think he's probably got the bush mechanics to be able to do it. So from there, it was a huge driving day for me. I went back down the Kalumburu road, onto the Gib River road, and met up with a couple of tourists along the way that had done their tyres. I didn't take any footage. I was in a bit of a hurry, but long story short, I come across this poor tourist that kept on doing tyres because his tyres were at 50 psi. He was told specifically by the Brits company where he hired the car from not to touch the tyre pressures. This is crazy. He was getting blowouts, like massive hand-sized blowouts from his tyres overheating. And he was on his last spare. So I helped him out. I adjusted his tyre pressures down, so it should be a lot more comfortable for him. From here, I am really looking forward to getting to Home Valley Station. I have seen some photos and it looks spectacular, and they have, what I'm told by other travellers, they have the best ribs money can buy. So that's where I'm heading right now. I'm going to pull into Home Valley Station, grab a beer, grab a feed, and then I'll cross the Pentecost tomorrow. For most people travelling the Gib River Road, the Pentecost River is one of those milestone points where it's either the beginning of your trip, the real Gib, or the end. Because just beyond the Pentecost River for me is El Questro Station, and just past that is the sealed road that takes you all the way to Nahra and beyond into the Northern Territory. So the Pentecost River is one of those iconic crossings for four-wheel drivers, and it's an impressive river in its own right. 118 kilometers long, 60 meters wide here at this crossing. In the wet season, this crossing is all but impassable. The water is rushing through there. It's higher. It can be well over a meter deep. And because of the rocky surface on the bottom, very slippery, and you could find yourself in deeper water left and right of it. crossing the river now is a bloke that I met last night at Home Valley Station. That's Anto and his lovely wife Danielle and their little one, travelling around Australia doing the big lap, the absolute ultimate dream destination for just about any Aussie. And they'd been on the trip for about 90 odd days by this point. So I do a little bit more forward driving with them through El Questro Station, and we say our goodbyes, and then I follow their big lap story through Facebook and their blog from here on end. So if you get a chance, go check them out. I've linked them in the description, I've linked them in the video. A great bunch of people showing you what there is around the country as they travel it themselves.
What's this?
After crossing the Pentecost and having a chat to a few of the locals that were going through, couldn't believe my eyes. These giant bright red tractors full of stickers were cruising past with caravans in tow. I'd never seen anything like it before, and probably never will see anything like it again. And the things were so loud, the occupants had to wear headphones just so they could talk to each other. They looked like noise cancelling headphones with microphones. Incredible to think that someone is starting their Gib River Road journey in a tractor doing probably 5 or 6 kilometres an hour at the most. So they are in for an epic time over the next weeks and months of their trip. I found out later once I got home, they are the Chamberlain G9 Tractor Club of Western Australia. And I looked them up. They do a fantastic job of fundraising for a whole bunch of charities, so I wish them the very best in their travels. So I arrive at El Questro Station at about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And in typical fashion, I can't wait to get out and explore the area. So I check in, but I don't go and set up any camping spot. I'll sort that out later. Instead, I'm going to take on one of the moderate level tracks. It's known for having some steep sections. It's got an incredible water crossing, a rocky double water crossing, where it looks like in the wet season this would be a hectic place to get across. It looks like floodwaters come smashing through there every single year. So let me tell you a little bit about El Questro Station. The station by Australian standards isn't actually that big, but what it lacks in size, it makes up for with diversity. The sandstone ranges are rugged, beautiful photographic pieces of sheer cliff face with all the colours that you associate with the Australian outback. The deep reds, the deep yellows and golds. You also have a large area of tidal flats, rainforest pockets and thermal springs that are something incredibly special to be able to enjoy, especially in winter. The gorges and permanent waterfalls of El Questro Station are unique anywhere in the entire world. For such an ancient land to still hold such diversity in a small area is really something special. And on top of the incredible landscape, you've also got an abundance of wildlife in the area. Although it's a very busy tourist place, it's one of the places where humans and the flora and fauna can seem to interact without negatively impacting each other too much. El Questro Station is far busier than they would ever advertise. I was blown away by the caravan park and camping area. There must have been hundreds of people packed into that area. Although it still felt really nice. Lots of big shady trees, You weren't camped on top of each other, but the amount of people was staggering. There must have been hundreds of people just in that sort of camping and tour area. A bit further down you've got private camping spots. A little bit further up again and you've got some of the real high value top tier accommodation that you can get in the country. Questro Station has successfully created something for everyone. At every level, at every price point, there's a huge amount of stuff that you can do, whether you're a multi-millionaire or someone going for a budget holiday. They've covered everything and everything in between. So it was a real surprise for me how good El Questro was, and I can't wait to go back. Here, something's punctured straight through the sidewall. I'll see if I can find it. Stunning. Crystal clear water, beautiful cabin. Thanks for watching my video. Hit like if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and if you'd like to help with the creation of these videos, check out my Patreon page from the link above.